Goddamn right. Mean you inherited 300 million yesterday? 300 million what is what we want to know. That was super metal. Wraith the Emperor drops by and takes off his clothes and says, "Look at my twigs and berries." And we say, "We'd rather not, sir." But he still drops by and says, "I would like to join the Diet Soda Soldier Brigade." We're going to talk about this all night. And I appreciate it, pal. Thank you so much, Wraith the Emperor. It's very kind. It's very courteous. Maybe what that means, sir, maybe what that means is you're feeling pretty confident that you are going to enter our Mortal Kombat competition, which now is working on PlayStation 4. If you have a PlayStation 4 and you're a member, it's this Thursday night, the Mortal Kombat 11 competition. Members only, goddammit. And Wraith the Emperor can get in there and scrap with the best of them. I don't know what the prizes are yet. I'll let you guys know. How's everybody doing? It's a late night Gabbin and the Games. I apologize about that, but there was a lot of shit going on in the life today that I had to deal with. Well, Mutant Mo says you're at work. Well, I mean, the issue is we'll probably do it like we did Brawlhalla. We'll probably do it where we've got the initial, and then we'll whittle it down to 4, and then we'll do that one later. No, the PS4, PS5 doesn't work. So if you have a PS5 like I do, you have to download the Mortal Kombat 11 version on the PS4 version on your PS5, and it works great. But you can't play the PS5 version with PS4 for some goddamn stupid fucking reason. So there you go. That's kind of where we're at right now. Rob the Mod, I'm glad you're feeling better, pal. If you didn't know, our very own Robert the Moderate had the COVID. He still does, but it sounds like he's feeling a little better. That is the good goddamn news. Here's what we're going to do. We have some special guests dropping by. Hello, Jesus. Nice to see you, Jesus. But before we talk to them, we're going to get a little bit of news going down fuck it, I got nothing. The lane, the pike, the pipe, whatever the fuck it goes down. We're going to talk about some video game news. I don't have a weed hangover today. No. I want to talk about some things I've seen on the internet today. Here we go. Boom. There was this story, by the way. You see all those motherfuckers up there at the top of the screen? Those are the Cult of Calypso badass motherfuckers. And to the right, those are the Gods of War. Those motherfuckers make this stream possible. Thank you very much to each and every one of you goddamn sons of bitches. Now, this guy posted this on the NeoGAF. It's really interesting. I hadn't thought about this. I hadn't thought about this until I saw this guy compile this together. His post on NeoGAF, if you're, not looking but listening, says, "I miss these days. Will they ever come back?" Well, that's clickable. I want to know what that's all about. Some people would say that's clickbait. It's like, no, it's good marketing. It's like, what does he mean? What is he talking about? I want to know what's on the other side of that click. Well, he's talking about the fall holiday 2001 after the PlayStation 2 had been out for about a year in North America. Let me show you the games that all dropped certainly in that year. But this wasn't even a year. This was like maybe 6 months apart. These games all dropped. Check this out. PS2, Ace Combat, Dark Alliance, Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy X, GTA, Gran Turismo 3, Grand Theft Auto 3, Eco, Jak and Daxter, Metal Gear 2, Silent Hill 2. And I would like to say that around the same time was my very own Twist Metal Black. And it's interesting because the guy's basically saying his thesis, or what he's wondering in this little post here, is, are we ever going to get back to a place where we're in AAA land and we're getting this volume of software and this volume of incredibly high quality software? To the answer, I will say the answer is obviously no. I don't think we are. I just don't. I mean, when you look at it like this, it's a little depressing, only because the games that were big at the time and representing the very best technology had to offer in terms of real-time interaction, the budget and the imagination and the scope all work together. And now it's so out of whack, we will never see another year like this. We might see a year like this or we definitely will see a year like this for indie games, for medium A games, maybe for VR games, for AR games. But the days of seeing classics like this that are not only brilliant, but also top of the food chain, I think those days are long gone. Six says, I don't think so, Jaffe, old so-and-so. In the early 2010s, Sony was dropping 1 million AAA exclusives, and I honestly think there were so many, they all negatively impacted each other. Well, that... what do you mean, can I fix the yeah, you old so-and-so, Daniel Hobo, you old hobo fuck. Yeah, let me fix that. The chat's not fitting on the screen, goddammit. I'll tell you what, since I upgraded to this goddamn thing, I love it, but it's a real pain in the arse. All right, tell me if that's any better. Double A today is AAA from back then with less marketing, says I'm Hotep. I don't think so. Double A today doesn't really exist except on things like Steam. But certainly you're not seeing big console launches that would be like the Midway games, which were, I think, the ultimate representation of Double A back in the day. Ready to Rumble and shit like that was totally how you would define a Double A game. 2020 holiday had bug snacks. I don't know why you would need anything else, says Michael. Well, yeah. You think we can see it with Nintendo, says Nash. I mean, that's interesting. Fuck the chat stretch. God damn it. I don't know how to fix it. Thank you, Daniel Hobo, y'all hobo sons of bitch. I can't fix it. I mean, I could make it. Let me do this. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting to kick the show off with that idea, because it is kind of sad that, Maneater, that's absolutely right. Maneater, I think, is a great one. That's a great example of a double A. So, I mean, it's not like we're not going to have brilliant games, but the costs are just getting too goddamn high. It's just the way it is. How long have I been streaming? I stretched it even worse. God damn it. Spazbo, I just started, baby. I just started 9 lives. What do you mean? I made it long. God damn. What do I do, Spazbo? You're the fucking genius here. You fix this shit for me, please. Please fix this shit. Okay. I go to the chat source YouTube screen grab. Now what the fuck do I... Oh, you're kidding? Fuck you. I should only have you on the screen, Rob. You all sickly fuck until you get well. No way, man. Anyway, this was interesting. We'll see if this time is coming again. Listen, here's some news that dropped, and it probably got buried. I mean, maybe people talked about it, but I didn't hear anybody talking about this. Whoa. Well, look at that. Look who's decided to show up. It's Alabone and Sammy Zamora. My two favorite con artists, you old grifter fuck. Good to see you guys. I appreciate it. Oh, and Jen Steps, of course, always right behind you. She always was a follower, but she's got moxie and she'll be something big one day. I hope that's all. God damn it. Now who you got? Spooderman. Oh, I love you, Spooderman. Okay. What? The censored chat feed? God damn it. I'm well, Angel. I'm discombobulated. Anyway, so back then, Metal Gear Solid 2 was $10 million of total cost of production, says Jesus. That's very little to these days. Yeah, you goddamn right. Let me give you some comparison. Drawn to Death was $12 million, right? $12 million for a downloadable multiplayer-only game. And one of the biggest games of the year was Metal Gear, and it cost $10 million. Insane. Spaz says, I think sub notifications should be disabled because it's a bug in Streamlabs where all the subscriptions show up at lunch once. Yeah. TM back on Sony's radar, says Skyline. I don't think so. I mean, we'll have to see. We're going to talk about Sony PlayStation Productions in just a minute. But This news may have gone under the wire for a lot of people. It happened late last week, or at least it was reported late last week. And it was interesting to me because we saw Stadia in the process of at least its initial iteration falling apart. But did you know that the head of Luna, which is Amazon's version of Stadia with a much better business model, the head of that group just left and went to Unity Games? What in the fuck? What in the fuck? So at this point, now it doesn't mean him leaving is a sign of bad things, but these guys aren't even out of the goddamn beta yet. They launched the beta 5 months ago. I have been a very happy subscriber to Luna. It's a really good service. It works great. They don't have any exclusives. This is always the problem. But, you know, it's still a pretty goddamn good service, and they have the Ubisoft channel for $15 a month, and then for $5 a month, it's all you can play of all these other games like Control and SteamWorld Dig and Resident Evil 7. They got a really good menu of games, right? But this guy says, okay, well, we launched 5 months ago. I'm out. So I don't know. At this point, maybe Microsoft is the only company that's going to be able to show up you know, actually make streaming, not sub-services, but streaming a viable thing. Mutant Mo, what do you mean I look blue to you? You mean my face looks blue? It probably does because I was messing with the white balance. Earlier today, it looked too red. Spazbo says, is Luna cloud only or does it allow you to download games? No, it's totally streaming only. It's cloud only. And again, if you have decent internet, not amazing internet, it works really great. It's in fact, I played a bunch of games on stream with Luna. Dude, I was reading some books, says Michael, about the old school Sierra Online game company. And in the 80s, they were going from concept to shipping would-be classic adventure games in 3 to 6 months. Yeah. It's absolutely insane. I mean, again, we're still getting that. I mean, the good news is that hasn't gone away. That market, in terms of the indie market and the Steam market, has gotten better. I'm playing a game right now that I'm obsessed with called Lemon Cake, and it's made by one woman, and she just streamed the whole development of this game, and it's made by one person. And I don't know how long it took her, but I don't know if she's making any goddamn money. But it's a really good fucking game. For Alonzo says, Jaffe, I want to know, how do you feel about your government is already bombing Syria? Thanks. I am more than happy to talk politics, but I will talk it with you at the end of the stream when we open up the floor for anything goes. I'm not going to break up the stream right now to talk about it, but you best believe, sir, I have some thoughts on that. And thank you for the gold star, Johnny M. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if this means anything. A bunch of the news today is stuff where it's kind of like, doesn't mean anything. It's too early to tell. We don't know. Here's something interesting. I'm just going to run through some fast news before we get to the meat of the sandwich, babies. Listen. Doom Eternal. This is what fascinated me. Doom Eternal came out less than a year ago. It's made $450 million in revenue in the first 9 months. That's not profit, that's revenue, right? So to get profit, they got to calculate the development costs, marketing costs, all that shit they got to calculate. Shipping, everything. So who knows how profitable it was? I don't imagine this game was Uncharted or Sony first party $200 million. It was probably $85 million. I don't fucking know. I'm just guessing. That's a total guess. But here's the thing, though. This game is sitting at a 39% completion rate, which, I mean, that's not... as video games go, if you get above 50%, like Last of Us Part 2 is a 60% completion rate. I think Spider-Man on PS4 is around a 55 or 60%. God of War's up there. But most games don't get to 50%. So 39 is not awful. But this is what I do wonder. I am curious about this because I love this game so much, but it's so goddamn hard for me. I can't play it. And what I wonder is, what is the lesson that Bethesda takes from this for the next Doom? I thought, and I still have to go back and keep playing more Doom Eternal, but it is so difficult and it is so punishing that it's hard to understand or it's hard to believe that that's not going to bite them in the ass on sales. And then they look at the next one and say, okay, guys, that was a failed experiment. It was a brilliant game, but we need to make this more mainstream. I don't know. I don't think there is an easy Classic Krusty. Is there an easy on that game? If there is, I may have to change to it. Fuzznut says, I love hard games. I always play on hard. I quit Doom Eternal 2 because it's too ridiculous. Well, right. But again, and that's great. And I'm glad you have those options. But again, the idea of games at this budget being, unless you're talking Demon Souls, which really wasn't a huge budget game at first until it proved itself. And I don't even think the remake was a huge budget. But unless you're talking something like that, it's hard to imagine you would be a Bethesda executive or an id executive or soon to be a Microsoft executive. That deal's supposed to close this month and go, yeah, we've spent all this money. Let's make sure we gate it so only 15% of players are really ever going to see even 30% of this fucking thing. I just don't know. What is the Dark Souls completion rate? That's a great question. I did not find that. There used to be a site that kind of used the trophy data and achievement data and made a completion assessment based on that, along with a few other factors. I can't find that site anymore. So a lot of these are kind of like one-off articles. Like this was one that, oh, you're not even looking at the screen. I'm an idiot. I'm showing you pictures and everything. Here's the Luna guy leaving, and here's this shit. You ain't seen nothing. And then here's the Doom Eternal goddamn thing. Here's the 60%. Last of Us 2 players have completed that game. And this is where I got the data that says Red Dead Redemption, Death Stranding only got to 30%. And then it says Doom Eternal has 39%. Shout out to Jaffe, says the VR grid. You old son of a bitch. He says, good dude who keeps it real, except about VR. VR is greater than AR. Let me tell you something, fuckface. I love you to death, buddy. And you know me. This is how I will talk about VR. VR, it's the same as like with your mother. At first, when I met your mom, it was like, this is going to be great. And then, as you know, she's very disappointing in bed, right? VR was very similar. When I first picked up VR, I'm like, this thing's going to be amazing. And then it's kind of like you get over it pretty quick. But it is amazing technology. I appreciate the Super Chat VR very, very much, sir. Why not just look at the trophy completion percentage for the Beat the Game trophy? That's where these percentages come from. You can look for any game. I don't know. I'll look it up in a minute. I don't like playing on hard games, says Tyler, unless that's the intended difficulty. Yeah, I agree. I'm glad they didn't damp down Demon Souls. Jaffe, Doom Eternal is challenging, not difficult. The gameplay is like chess. It's not unfair because the game arms you with absolutely everything you need to beat the enemy. You know what, Novikov, did you play it with a mouse or with a controller? Answer me that first and we'll have a conversation. Christopher Gorley, do you know who you're talking to? My little burns are layers deep. Chris Gorley says, why would he know she isn't amazing in bed? Because not only am I using that to barb VR and say I'm fucking his mother, but I'm also saying you come from an incestual family. You get it? You get it? All these things marbled together in a delicious cake that tastes like revenge. Am I right? You know I'm right. Characters from other Sony IP may appear on Destruction All-Stars? Are you asking me or telling me? The only news that I have seen recently... hang on. I'm going to go back to that. So, okay, Novikov, you played on mouse and keyboard. So I need to play it on mouse and keyboard. So let me give you an example. I think you're right. When you say Doom Eternal is designed to give you everything you need, I could see myself loving that. Rob the Mod, I know you love Doom Eternal. Did you play it on PC or keyboard or what? But I think I need to play it on PC because here's where I got really frustrated with the game. The game has this really nice system of, weak points, right? So there's a number of things like shoot the guns off this guy, punch this guy in the mouth, whatever. But when you're doing it with an Xbox controller, it's really fucking hard. But yeah, maybe if I go back and play it with a mouse, I'll enjoy it a lot more. Angel says, I get the game gives you the resources, but compared to Doom 2016, it's much more challenging because they lowered the health and ammo. For me, it was mainly the aiming. I'm going to try that, though, Novikov. I will try that on a stream in the future, and I'll hook my keyboard up to my Xbox X, and we'll see. Doom 16 was more expensive because they had to build it from scratch. Doom Eternal is using the already made tech. Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure they made profit. Okay, Eddie Torres, fuck off. He says, I beat it on Nightmare on Xbox. Well, you just fuck off. I don't know how you do that, and you're a liar, and it's mean. I think Doom Eternal pushed its expectations like it felt for me once I got into it. I felt like I was lost. I don't know, man. 9 Lives, fuck off. It's not that I'm bad. I mean, I might be bad. But, yeah, exactly. Angel says you got to try hard to get headshots. When you're playing with the controller, I really do have a hard time lining that cursor up for headshots, and there's that one monster with the guns on his back that you got to take those off first and shit like that. So I'll play it on keyboard. I'll let you guys know what I think. The point of this, though, is I wonder if it was received so well that they've been given in their minds as developers a mandate, and the next Doom is going to be more of the same, or they're going to pull back a little bit. That's the stuff that I'm always fascinated by, because I've worked on sequels before. I remember going from Twisted Metal 1 to Twisted Metal 2, and we were convinced that Twisted Metal 1 was going to be a huge failure, and Sony, for some reason, was like, yeah, but we're going to greenlight Twisted Metal 2. Maybe they just needed more games in the pipeline. I have no idea. And I remember we were literally, people who are hardcore Twisted fans know this, but we were literally designing vehicles that were hovercraft instead of cars. We were designing the cars to be roaches and bugs because we felt that the game was too fast. And so it turned out we were ready to totally pivot based on the response from the first game. So I just find that really interesting that, you know, if you get this game that a lot of people loved and a lot of people say is really hard, what do you do when you sit down in your first design meeting for part 3? Do you go, well, shit, did we push it to? I don't know. I'm excited to hear. Speaking of hearing from developers, do you know who's going to be on the show Friday? Go ahead and guess. Go ahead and guess. Oh, wait. No, I won't. I'll tell you. Let me give you a hint. It is the, no, it's not Shannon. It's not John. It's not Mark. It's not my mom. She's dead. It's not Vic. It's not, no, I'm just going to tell you, it's not Rockopod. It is, the game director and lead creative designer of my all-time favorite fun game of the last 12 months. That's right. The man who designed and creatively directed Fast and Furious Crossroads is going to be zooming in, and we are going to be talking about his video game. We're going to be talking about the fact that I loved it. I loved what they were doing with it. It's sitting at like a 35 Metacritic right now. I want to talk to someone else who's gotten beaten the fuck up in Metacritic and go, how did you deal with it? Did you expect it? Do you think it's a shit game? Because I fucking loved it, right? So we're going to have a good conversation he's from Slightly Mad Studios. So he will be coming in on Friday, so you know. Oh, I'm going to totally ask about the hate. I need to know about this. That's good conversation. How many times do people interview people who have had big failures about their failures? Rarely. That's what we need to talk more about in our culture. Okay, it's the butt of many jokes online, says Eddie T. Yeah, but it's a really fucking good game. It's a really fucking good game. I know I'm not ready for Terrifier 2. I'm looking forward to it, though. Have I played Blur? I did play Blur. I didn't love it, but I played it. Listen to me. A lot of times I wonder about something, fellas. I wonder about these crazy gamers and these crazy geeky, nerdy people that post death threats and things like that online. Shannon will be on in, I think we agreed to May is when we're doing an Angel. He's also the project lead of Cars 2 and 3. Absolutely. Okay. I'm wondering about these people who post death threats. Oh, there you go. There you go. We got Vin Art. I don't know what MX is, but it looks nice and big. And he gave it to some other schmuck the other day. He shows up now and he says, Jaffe, I'm going to donate some ducats to you, you'll so-and-so. Vin J. Art, I appreciate it. God of War camera angle kind of sucks. Did you like the decision, you beautiful man? I'll tell you in a second. I don't know what MX is. I think it stands for multiple extremity ducats. I don't fucking, it doesn't matter. Jin shows up. He made a beautiful custom sweet tooth. I don't know if you've seen it. I tweeted it out recently, but thank you so much, sir. Now listen, right. P.S. You goddamn right. You goddamn right, P.S. The key is to learn from your fucking mistakes. You goddamn right. We don't respect failure as much. Anyway, Mexican pesos. I appreciate it, baby. Thank you so much. Jim Ryan's coming on soon. We'll see. No, I am not being sarcastic about Crossroads. I'm going to put up a video in the next couple days. I absolutely loved Fast and Furious Crossroads. I didn't love it ironically. What is that game a lot of people sort of make fun of? Destination or Fatal Destination or some such shit like that. I mean, it's not that. It is, Spanish doubloons. That'd be cool. It is genuine. I mean, it is not a pretty game. It doesn't control perfectly. It has a lot of fucking problems. You can't skip the cutscenes. The art is really annoying at times where the track looks like the horizon and you slam right into the horizon and it's like, oh, that was a wall. But out of all that, the missions are great. The stunts are great. The imagination is great. So no, I am not joking. I adored it. It was one of the most fun things I played this year. I loved it and it's really good are two different things. And you've said both. I watched you play it. I can't imagine how it's a really good game. This is Six talking and he must be high. Well, it's a really good game in that I define a really good game as something I have fun with, right? So if you look at the Game Pro scores from back in the day, to me, the only one that ever really matters is fun factor. And you can get 2s and 1s across the board, but if your fun factor is a 4 or a 5, I'm very interested, right? We've watched movies on the stream before, Thanksgiving. Well, clearly it's not a great movie, but it's a lot of fucking fun. And in being a lot of fucking fun, it's a great movie, Sod says, I get why you like the game. I love driver games on PS1. They look like shit even back then, but I enjoyed the hell out of them. Right. Yeah, I think, Stefan, and somebody was asking about $35. Here's what I would recommend, honestly. They're morons. They're still charging in some places $60 for this goddamn thing. You goddamn mind. It's not that it's not worth it. You can't put a price on fun, I don't think, but they're morons to charge that much. And I want to talk to this guy about that. I don't think he would have agreed with that either. Right, 6. So it's great like Freddy versus Jason is great. Yeah, if you watch it unironically, absolutely. And I do. But anyway, shit, what was I saying? So, it's a great game, and, okay, killers. I got to answer MX. Hang on, MX. MX says, thank you for Super Chat. He says, did you like the decision about the God of War 4 camera? Then we're going to get to the story about somebody who is sending death threats to Square Enix, and he got caught. And I want to tell you who this was. Pretty interesting to me. But yes, MX, I loved God of War 2018. I thought it was fantastic. I understand there are people who, if they wanted the first kind of God of War 1, 2, or 3 or Ascension, that they would say, oh, I don't like the camera because it is a very different kind of combat system. You don't have the pulled back camera with the lay of the land that you can kind of have a little bit more strategy and tactics. It's probably a deeper combat system in 2018, but you can't maybe appreciate that as much. But that was never the goal, at least when I was working on God of War. So I didn't mind it, but I do know some people didn't like it, but I thought it was great. Classic says the final boss was underwhelming. What was the final boss? When she animated the dead troll and you were fighting Baldur, is that the thing? Okay. What kind of asshat sends death threats, for fuck's sakes? Let me tell you the kind. Okay, so this guy decides to send death threats. Oh, I didn't 100% at Classic because I didn't want to deal with the Valkyries. Oh, shut up, Bobby Burns, goddammit. Bobby Burns says, Jaffe, it seems like you're an apologist for bad games and tend to crap on masterpieces. You don't know me. You don't know me. Bobby Burns, I love all games that are entertaining. I have warmed up to The Last of Us Part 2 very much. I'm enjoying it a great deal. I just told you I love God of War 2018. What are you talking about? I'm a fan, but I'm also a fan of things that, are really fun that don't have, here's what it is. Fast and Furious Crossroads to me feels very much like Earth Defense Force, right? Earth Defense Force, yeah, you can mock it and play it ironically, but Earth Defense Force is a direct line to the 10-year-old kid who everybody, if they're fortunate, is still in touch with inside of them, okay? That is very much like Crossroads. And so, yeah, it's not that I'm shitting on, I'm saying I don't need, the 10-year-old in me doesn't need everything to be photoreal and perfectly polished. It just needs to be like, holy cool, that's fucking awesome. Like when I'm playing Earth Defense Force and there's literally tarantulas crawling on skyscrapers and suddenly I'm being pulled. I'm like, what the fuck? And I realize, even though it looks like shit, I'm being pulled up into the sky by a web from one of the giant tarantulas on the fucking World Trade Center. It's crazy. It's crazy. You hear PS5 is going to be harder to find because they're used for cryptocurrency mining. No. I didn't hear that. No, but that sucks. Blood on the Sand, 50 Cent I heard was really good. I did not. I changed my mind because when I first played Last of Us 2, I got bored of the opening was really slow and there was a lot of stealth because people told me I had to play it that way. I'm doing a video on it, but no, I do like Last of Us Part 2. I didn't like the first one that much, but this one's a lot better. I love the Star Wars prequels as a kid. That doesn't make them good, says Tyler. Well, yes, it does. Does it make them cinema according to Martin Scorsese? No, of course not. Does it make, the acting equivalent to a lot of people as the acting in a movie like, I don't fucking know, some fancy schmancy acting movie like this Frances McDormand movie that's winning all the awards right now? No, but if you enjoyed it and you had a good time with it, what's the problem? Now listen, let's talk about death threats. So this guy sends death threats to Square Enix. And I was like, well, who does that? He literally sent 37 threatening messages saying things like, I will seriously kill you, cheating developers. To clarify, says the article, the term cheating in Japanese is ikasama, which refers to the type of person who might cheat at cards or dice with sleight of hand. The frequent threats caused the company to call off a scheduled live broadcast in November. The police were called in. They tracked him down. 39-year-old, almost 40 fucking year old man says, I couldn't win. I was feeling frustrated and I got emotional. This is him. A goddamn grown ass man. I mean, what is happening to our goddamn world? Maybe these people have always been out there. Maybe they've always been out there. I don't fucking know. But when I hear people making death threats online and all this shit, I don't take them very seriously. But I usually am like, that's got to be a kid. That's got to be somebody who's probably like, 12 years old or something. It's like, no, these are grown-ass goddamn adults. It's the craziest fucking thing. Get your shit together. Get your shit together. Did it happen a couple of weeks ago? A month? No, this is 16 hours ago is when this was posted. So, let's see, grown men spend all day fighting over which console is better. That's right, Eddie T. They're obnoxious as fuck. You should read about the Sinking City being pirated by their publisher. I know about that. They're been in a big brouhaha. It's on Steam right now, and the developer's saying, hey, the publisher of that game has put a pirated version up for sale, and they're making money out of it. They're out there. Just look at The Last of Us 2. You're talking about crazy people. Immaturity exists, says Novikov, in many age groups. It does. It goddamn does. But I'll tell you what, there's a point. There's a goddamn point where we just have to sit back and say, enough. We need to start policing ourselves and say, if you know me, let me ask you something. In the chat, do you know anyone? Yes, no, he how much money did he pour in the game? I'll tell you, that's exactly what it was. He had poured into the game. Let's see. It was a smartphone game. It was triggered by a game called Dragon Quest of the Stars. It lets players travel to different planets and team up with 3 others online. Okay, this seems rather likely, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it says, reports didn't mention the smartphone game, only that the suspect had spent basically 2,000 American dollars trying to get a wanted item. With no results, he then advised Square Enix employees to wash their necks, which is a threat that means prepare to die, stemming back to the samurai days. It's not confirmed that the game is driving grown men on the brink of madness, but it seems possible. So there you go. Fucking crazy as shit. Now, listen to me. The thing is, do you know anybody that has actually sent a goddamn real death threat? Like, do you know, or have you? Like, have you ever gone onto the goddamn internet and threaten somebody's fucking life? Have you actually done that? Or do you know anyone who's actually done that? Because I'm just like, I'm fascinated by that whole mentality. Tyler, you've done it, or you've someone. Tyler said yes, and he just retracted the message. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. What do you know, Tyler? What aren't you telling us? Trey says it's odd to me. When I was a kid, the SNES was amazing. The Genesis was amazing. There was no hatred. I don't get people. I don't get people either. Not condoning it, but that's a great threat. Wash your neck. I don't know why that's a great threat. Because you're going to cut your head off, but why do you need to wash your neck? I've gotten 30 plus death threats, but they have all been out of love, says Bobby Burns. I have a hard time believing that. Salman Ali says, I've gotten countless threats because of your name. People say they're going to kill you. Six says, my brother was in the room when one guy told another guy he was going to get him fired. And the guy says, if I lose this job, I'll kill your wife. Test me. So what happened? Holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. I don't know. Let's move on because I want to tell you something. I just took him out. I think he wants to play with you. Now, I think it's known in the industry that I'm pretty mature. I'm pretty pulled together. And that is why, and you guys know that, I'm a fan of Colin Moriarty, and you guys know I'm a fan of Greg Miller. These guys can't get the interviews that I can get. That's just the way it is because I am very mature. And right now it looks like I have some people I want to bring in. And we are going to have a little bit of a conversation about Sony PlayStation. So here we go. So I put up a little Zoom background. Hang on, let me get this in here. Hang on a second. Okay. All right. So I would like you guys to please be nice. Please be mature for our two guests tonight. You know them. You love them. Here's Jim Ryan and Sean Layden. Sean Layden, obviously, he has been relegated, to pushing the wheelchair. Hello, Jaffe. How are you? I am good, Sean Layton. It is good to fucking see you again. Yes, it's good to see you as well, mate. So what have you been doing since you left Sony? Oh, a bit of the old in and out, governor? A bit of the old in and out and a bit of the old odd jobs. And then, of course, I'm working here for my mate, Jim Ryan. Oh, Jim, I didn't see you there. You have basically taken over... let's get your chin back there, pal. You have basically taken over Sean Layton's job. Is that right? Let me tell you something, mate. I'm an old man and I want to charge $70 for everything. Well, you can't possibly. I heard you're going to try to. Okay, please. Just let me ask a question. I heard you want to charge $70 for Returnal. You goddamn right I do. But why? It looks great. I saw it at the State of Play, and it's got the cool haunted house. Yeah, it's very scary. It's very scary and worth $70. Just like All Stars Destruction. I think you mean... hey, Sean, let me ask you. If you were still running things... Yes, I should be running things. I don't know if I disagree or not, but if you were still running things, yes. If you were still running things... would you be putting these games out at this price point? God blimey! No, it's stupid. Some games are worth 70, but all of them? I told you, mate, not to contradict me. Now take me back and change my diaper. I'm sorry, what? He's going to change my nappy! All right, Sean, I guess I got to let you guys go, but it's been good to see you. I appreciate it. Are you going to take him back and change his nappy? Yeah, I guess that's what I've got to do. That's how I pay the rent these days, motherfucker. All right, well, good. Maybe next time you come on, we can have the chat, talk to you guys. Oh, well, there they go. Maybe next time you guys can, chat with these guys. That could be really good and see what happens, Wait, what the fuck? Where are we? What is happening? What the fuck? What did the scene just magically change? What the hell? Would you hear that? What the fuck? Where are we going, Sean Layton? Where are we going? Oh, I just thought it would be nice to get a little bit of scenery before I change your nappy. Oh, that's very nice of you, Sean Layton. And afterwards, will you clean my bum? I'll charge you $70. Ha ha ha. Oh, this is nice. This is so nice. Oh. Anyway, that was great. I'm so happy we had those guests stop by. It's really nice when you are as beloved as I am in the industry that you can bring people like that on. You don't take it for granted. You appreciate it, Was this made by Unity? Yeah, totally. You would watch a whole hour of that. There you go. You crap of Jimbo, but during his time as president, he's delayed games and giving devs the room they need. The fact he's pragmatic is a plus. Oh, dude, I know, Samco. I'm just playing. I don't give a fuck. I got nothing against Jim Ryan. I got nothing against Phil Spencer. They're doing a hard fucking job. I wish them all well. I have both of these fucking consoles. They're great. So I'm just playing around. Stoner Joe drops a 20 spot. I appreciate it, baby. He says, if I am not delusional, then possibly 2 to 100 people may have died indirectly because of me. Oh my God. My question is, if anyone died indirectly because of me, what kind of life should I have? Do I deserve happiness, health, or freedom? Well, I think, honestly, sir, you need to, first off, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Second off, I think you need to do a little bit better job explaining that. Can you be a bit more, don't pay any more money, but can you explain what you're talking about? Because if you indirectly killed somebody because you had COVID and you didn't know, and you went to an old folks home, and no, you shouldn't. It sucks, but what are you going to do? You didn't know you had it. If you knew you had raging AIDS and you went around and slept with like 20 people with the hope, or you didn't care if you gave them AIDS and you didn't tell them, then yeah, you're probably going to hell. So I think it really kind of depends. Jim talking about his stance on VR, says Danny, is like Biden talking about kids jumping on his knee. Well, look, I heard somebody online today compare Jim Ryan to Blockbuster Video and Phil Spencer to Netflix in terms of Sony continuing to do the same business and thinking it will continue to be profitable, and Netflix or Phil Spencer coming in and saying, we're going to try something different. I don't know if that's true or not. But okay. What do you mean raging AIDS? Like if you've got a really bad case of AIDS, I don't know how AIDS works. If you have AIDS, is it like it's either on or off? It's binary, or can you have really bad AIDS? I'm assuming you can have really bad AIDS. And so that's what raging case of AIDS is. That's all I'm saying. What AIDS doesn't typically kill somebody in the first world. I know. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ, people. Okay. Super AIDS. That's right. That's exactly right. One shouldn't have to spend more than 5 times the price of a game to get what you want. Those casino-like business models are toxic and malicious. Are you talking about the Square Enix shit? Yeah, I mean, it's not great. What's up, Jaffe says, Ghost, just want to say Get Twisted played on my shuffle just now, and I want to say that song still slaps. I remember that song. That's in that fucking hip-hop gamer song, right? Yeah, that was good. Who was coming on the show from Sony? They were already here. We had Jim Ryan. We had Sean Layden. Somebody was asking if I know why Sean Layden left, or was pushed out. I mean, I know some things that I'm not, at liberty to share, and other things I don't know. But I don't know. But there's been a lot of turnover at Sony. We know that. I mean, that's par for the course right now. Your Jim Ryan accent, says Bobby Draper, was about 300 miles out. He's a Gordy, not a Southern softy. I don't fucking know. They're both British, so I had to switch it up. Rocket League and Fortnite just had a class action lawsuit on loot boxes. Got an email from Epic today. Interesting. In America? Like an American lawsuit? If there's a toxic game mode that takes advantage of players, check this out. Don't play it, says Six. I mean, I agree. And Six is not wrong. These devs only put the modes in because you guys pay them constantly. It's totally true. Games are making, I'm not going to go over the stats again because I don't really remember them, but it was less than a year ago that we talked about 2K making $1 billion in a quarter in 3 months just on microtransactions. Come on. I agree with you, Alexis. The first party games are too long. There's a lot of turnover in the entire game industry, says Corey. Yeah, there is, but that's accurate. Okay. Let us move on, shall we? Don't do that, Jaffe, you old so-and-so. Okay. We're going to talk about a little... people are stupid, says Caveman. Haven't you figured that out yet? I mean, I don't want to admit it. I don't want to know it. I don't want to accept it. But no, I have not beat Ghost of Tsushima yet. I mean, Elden Ring, we can talk about Elden Ring, but what do you want to talk about? I mean, it leaked. I watched it. I'm assuming we all watched it. It looks fine. It looks like another Dark Souls game. I'm not really following it. Scotty Mac says, you are a people. Remember that. Yes, but I'm one of the smart ones. Who was on from Sony? I told you, Jim Ryan and Jim Ryan and Sean Layden were on. All right, this is what happened today. This is interesting to me a little bit because I don't know, man. I don't know what... You see this? Tom Holland decides to do another one of his notorious interviews where he kind of goes a little bit off script, and this article was badly written. It was written on this way on purpose, so I guess it succeeded, but it was obnoxiously deceptive, but there's still some meat on the bone worth picking at, right? So Tom Holland says of Uncharted, not really. He's talking about his performance in the movie. It was a mistake, and it is something I will probably never do again. He's not saying the movie's bad. He's not saying he's not going to play Nathan Drake again. I'm almost certain he's got to be under contract for 2 more of these fucking things, as per the usual. But what he was specifically talking about is he got really buff for this role, I guess. There he is right there on the screen. You can see him. I don't know if that's really buff or not. He just looks like Tom Holland to me. But apparently he got into this mode on set where instead of acting and playing the character, he was very focused on hitting his marks to show off his muscles and his abs and his biceps and trying to be more of like, don't I look good as an action star? That's what he was talking about, okay? So nothing he is saying is indicative of the fact that this movie is not going to be good. However, this movie is cursed. It may be brilliant, but how many directors did they went through? Do you know, by the way, the director they ended up with on this movie? Do you know who's directing this fucking movie? I had to look this guy up. I had never heard of him. He's a fucking TV director of sitcoms. He did like Superstore and Stumptown, and he's only been a producer. Has he even directed anything? What's he directed? Let's see. Where's his directing credits? Stumptown, Superstore. Okay, so he directed. Okay, so he did do Venom and Zombieland. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, all right. I stand corrected. I didn't see those credits. I was looking at his other credits. But I love hearing first world problems from A-list actors, says Tyler. I'm not suggesting that there's a problem with the movie. I'm just saying that that's a pretty strange thing to say. But I also wonder if today's audiences aren't wiser. Like this article talks about how his PR people and people at Sony must be pulling out their hair over this shit. And I'm like, well, I think kids today or people who are reading media and celebrities today, I think the days have long passed where that kind of squeaky clean, bottled up image of these people, it sells tickets. I think people respond better now to genuineness. I think they respond to honesty. And I don't think that means Tom Holland, if he didn't like the movie, he says he hasn't seen the movie. True, who knows? But I'm not saying he should go out and shit on the movie if he doesn't like the movie, but kind of taking the piss out of his own self and saying, I was too vain on set and I don't like how that affected my performance. I don't know. I mean, that's not bad, right? I mean, it makes it a little bit more endearing. I'm still not crazy excited. I mean, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I just don't know what to think yet about the Sony production slate. And I was thinking about this, like, I saw Iron Man in the theater, 2008. And I was in my 30s. It wasn't so long ago. As a kid, I can't remember. But I don't remember if people were skeptical about it, like on the internet. Like I knew who Iron Man was. I knew who Favreau was. Robert Downey Jr. everybody thought was great casting. I don't remember if there was this kind of, I don't think this movie has a lot of love right now amongst fans. I don't think people are like going, oh dude, this thing's going to fucking rock like a goddamn motherfucker. I think people are more kind of like skeptical of this working for some reason. I love about Uncharted was the gameplay, says Jay. Not interested in watching an Uncharted movie. Jack says lead actors don't generally say they're not sure if the movie will be any good. Well, that's true. Well, he's also about to be in a movie called Chaos Walking, which people are saying is probably going to be deemed the worst movie of the year. Him and Daisy Ridley. Maybe that's kind of playing on it. He wants to kind of be like, he wants to kind of get in front of it a little bit. I'm not saying, Robert says Ridley Scott started off making bread commercials. Everyone has to start somewhere. I'm not, David Fincher started making music videos to begin with. I'm not saying Spielberg made episodic TV. I'm not saying you can't start somewhere. I'm saying that usually when a director is hired for something, but again, he did do Zombieland, so that's, I was wrong. But assuming that he hadn't, you don't hire somebody for your big AAA franchise movie who hasn't at least made something in the vein of it. Whenever you see Marvel hiring people, it's like, oh, that's an interesting choice, but it's not because it's random. It's like the guy who directed a bunch of Friends is now going to direct the next Captain America. It's they've done something in their resume that speaks to what they are going to create with Marvel, is all I'm saying. He was talking about mistakes he made and what he learned from filming Uncharted. Right. Yeah, he's absolutely not saying Uncharted is a bad movie. He's not saying it's not. He literally says, look, I haven't seen it, so I don't know if I succeeded in that. But it was an important lesson learned. The other interesting part, though, is he apparently, he was talking about this. Again, Chongo, I'm not saying the Russo brothers didn't start there as well. I'm saying that, fuck it, let's find out together, shall we? Let's before we talk about this Tom Holland thing, I want to see what the Russo brothers did, because there had to have been something that Kevin Feige saw in them to make them go, we want to give you this franchise. Let's just look up. Is it Joe Russo? Okay. I am curious. Okay, so before Marvel, director. Okay. Okay, they directed Agent Carter. So all they had done was one episode of Agent... No, wait. Here's Winter Soldier. Okay, hang on. Okay, hang on. They did make a movie, You, Me, and Dupree. I wonder what they saw. I wonder if... I haven't seen a lot of these. Like, I don't know what Carpoolers is. I don't know what Council of Dads is. I wonder what they saw that made them think these guys would be really good. I think people are skeptical because video game movies are notorious for being terrible, not just because it's Uncharted, says Rube. I think you're right, for sure. And I also think it's the fact that this movie has gone through director after director after director, and then him coming out and saying this today. But all of that shit is forgiven within minutes, right? If the movie comes out and everyone's raving, nobody remembers all this shit. Yeah, I heard Cherry wasn't very good. Well, Hunt for the Wilder People makes sense, Robert Draper. I mean, that was a feature film with a lot of heart and soul and comedy, and it wasn't like going from a 3-camera sitcom. Okay, anyway, whatever. But the last thing on Tom Holland, though, so they were talking about how because the Uncharted shut down because of COVID, Holland only had 3 days from finishing Uncharted to going to Spider-Man. And apparently they pulled him aside. It took him like a week to get Nathan Drake out of his system. I'm going to read you this quote, which I thought was pretty interesting. Amy Pascal, who is the kind of the lead exec producer over on the Spider-Man franchise, she used to run Sony Pictures. Tom Holland says, I was doing this scene in Spider-Man 3 where I'm walking into this building and there's this cool cinematic shot pushing in behind me, and Amy Pascal, the producer, takes me aside and says, why are you walking like that? You're walking like a man. You need to walk like a boy. Holland says, I went back and watched the monitor and I could see I was walking with swagger and confidence. The director was like, it's fine. It's Nathan Drake. We'll iron him out and get Peter Parker back. The one thing I will say, though, about actors, I am in awe of actors. I really am. I don't mean like, I'm not in awe of celebrity. I'm in awe of the craft of a good actor, because it's just so much stuff that they do. I never would have thought in my wildest dreams, it never would have occurred to me that Tom Holland is sitting around working out different walks of characters. And in the way he walks isn't just the way he walks. It's like, no, I'm walking like Peter Parker would walk. I'm walking like Nathan Drake would walk, right? The one that blew me away the most was when I saw a movie called, I think it was called In Good Company, maybe. It was with Dennis Quaid and that kid in the 70s show, Topher Grace. Good movie. Scarlett Johansson was in it. And so I love the movie. Dennis Quaid's character really is likable and smart, and you look up to him, and I'm like, that's the best role I've ever seen that guy in. And then you see him on interviews, and he's dumb as a fucking rock, man. He's not bright. He's a moron. But it's like when the part's well written, he can perform the part, and it just works, man. So, I mean, I think actors are fucking amazing, man. Amazing skill if you can do it well. Okay. Imagine being a voice actor, says Eternal. Okay. Done. Okay. Frangucci says the great ones act with more than just their voice. What are their facial features, their body? All that comes into play. That's true. Absolutely. Eternal says, imagine being a voice actor. They not only have to learn the character and mannerisms, do all the physical stuff. If it's motion captured, they have to project their voices and possibly alter them. Yeah, no, acting is not easy. It's really amazing. Stoner Joe comes back with ducats. What? Okay, oh my God, man. He says mass shooting seems to have some kind of, well, thank you for the super chat, pal. He says mass shootings seem to have some kind of relation to me and my social media. It's kind of a long story as to why they were happening. I thought it had something to do with me being famous. It makes me sad still. Are you high right now, Stoner Joe? Could you call into the chat? Who are you? What do you mean? I know a lot. If you're really famous, we probably know who you are, which means I can't think of anybody famous that has been tied to being responsible for mass shootings. What? What are you talking about? Pick up the phone. It's free. I want to talk to you about this. God. I do wonder, though, wouldn't that be interesting if somebody really famous watched the stream? That'd be awesomely funny. Oh, Marilyn Manson, fuck that guy. I'm not talking to that guy. What great actors have I been around? Well, define been around. The biggest actors I've been around was I went to Brian Grazer, who is Ron Howard's producing partner. He has a beach house in Malibu. I went to a party at his house, 4th of July party. Tom Hanks was there. Rita Wilson, his wife, was there. Meg Ryan was there. Dennis Quaid was there. John Lovitz was there. There's like 6 other big celebrities. They're just hanging out. They were just being normal, going to a party. Okay. Jay Song says, I'm confused by some of y'all's comments. Some of you guys text like y'all having a conversation. I don't understand. A fake Sylvester Stallone tricked you. I don't know about that. I can tell you that that I did have a meeting with his brother, Frank Stallone. I sure did. Danny DeVito was not there. But the biggest celeb I've ever met in my mind, well, I guess Tom Hanks, but it was really Spielberg. He did not have Wilson, no. Yeah, go ahead, Eddie Jordan. Question about gaming. What's up, pal? What can I do for you, Eddie Jordan? What can I do with you? And then we're going to talk about Deathloop. I don't know what gravy biscuits you're talking about. The Henry Cavill Superman debacle. What is that? We're about to talk about Deathloop, but I'll allow it. I'll allow it in my courtroom. What are you talking about? What Henry? The fact that Superman, Warner Brothers is saying we're going to recast Superman, and then Zachary Snyder says Cavill will always be our Superman. I mean, no one knows anything really. If that's what you're talking, that's all I know. I never met Chris Farley. No. How was Spielberg? Spielberg was as delightful as you would want him to be. He was exactly, and I'm not saying that's who he is in real life. He was clearly out in public. but he was exactly as you would hope one of your great heroes would be, which was he was nice and he was interested, or at least he seemed interested in what we were talking about. It was one of the most wonderful things to meet a hero and have him actually be the real deal. Lucas, on the other hand, though, he wasn't a bad guy. He was just very shy. J.J. Abrams is rebooting Superman reportedly as a black Superman. Well, I don't care if he's a black Superman. I do kind of care that J.J. Abrams is doing it. Abrams is weird. Abrams had a little run there where I was like, I love this guy. Like during the Super 8 era, and he did Mission Impossible, and he did the first Star Trek. I was like, I really like this guy. And then he just started to just become bland and vanilla. I don't think he's a bad filmmaker. I just think he's lost he's become so much more about being a brand, it seems, and not being a voice. And I liked him a lot more when he was a voice, right? Not to say his vision was, crazy deep, but it moved me. It engaged me. His stuff now just feels very empty. It reminds me of like when Jon Favreau went off and did Cowboys and Aliens, and then he's like, I have to get back to my heart. And he made Chef, and since then he's had hit after hit after hit. He's just figured out how to do both commercial and heartfelt shit. Abrams hasn't had that moment yet, I don't think, and I think it shows in his work. In my opinion, what do I know? Okay. Think about it. Lucas is a nerd deep in his heart, never came off as a social butterfly, says Six. No, absolutely. I want Cavill back, says Gravy. I think he's great as Superman. It's the scripts that are trash. It looks like it looks like, what? It went up the chat. It looks like, although Gustavo says he's hated by his coworkers, it looks like he's something and they are rebooting. I don't know. I mean, I think Cavill was great in The Witcher. I like him in Mission Impossible. I have not loved him as Superman, but I am going to go back and watch Man of Steel, because as much as people have given me shit for not hating on, just not losing my fucking mind over the goddamn trailer for Justice League, I have seen their comments saying, hey man, go back and watch Man of Steel. It's great. And I've seen that enough that I'm like, fuck it. Maybe I just caught it on a bad day. So Jar says, I hate race swaps in movies. Read Michael B. Jordan opinion of that. What? I don't understand, Jar. Can you retype that? Has Ragnarok been confirmed? I Googled it, says its creator, me, has confirmed. Yeah, I didn't say that. It was an absolute misquote. What I said was God of War Ragnarok. I can't fathom it won't be on PS4 and PS5. It's incredibly expensive. The vast majority of people who own something to play it on, it's over 100x million PS4s. This title has to be $200 million plus. It doesn't have to, but I assume it's 180 to 220, my guess. You can't tell me that they're going to be like, no, let's put it on PS5, especially given how hard PS5 is struggling to get into people's hands. Now, that doesn't mean I have any insider info. If I did, I couldn't share it. But what I can absolutely tell you is that if I was making the decision, and I think if you were making the decision and your job was to do well at your job and make money for Sony, you'd be putting it on PS4 too. Because it's not like if you have a PS5, I'm not going to play it. Come on. But I don't know that, but I'm pretty sure it will. You never know though. Warner Brothers should have gone to George Miller instead of Abrams, but they don't have a clue what to do with the great characters. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Every time it seems they take a step forward with a Wonder Woman, they give you a Wonder Woman 84, which is like, what the fuck? Every time they take a step forward with like a Shazam, they give you a Suicide Squad, and you're like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm looking forward to the new Suicide Squad. We'll have to see. They did not. Ricardo says people also wanted to cancel Henry Cavill just because he dated Gina Carano. People are idiots. I'm tired of these people. Fucking tired of them. Okay. Have Cavill meet Superman from a new Earth. This is Ricardo's idea. A black Superman that was sent to Earth instead of Kal-El. I just don't even understand why it matters if the guy's black or not. What do my chat is frozen? No, it's not. It's working. See? I mean, look, I'm a guy, I've grown up, I've only seen white Supermen and red and blue Supermen, which were terrible. I don't care if he's black. That's a ridiculous, who gives a shit? Michael Jordan wants to be the black Superman from the comics and not Clark Kent. I didn't know there was a black Superman in the comics. I mean, I know he had a black outfit, but was Superman ever an African American or an African in the comics? I want to look that up. I wasn't aware that was a thing. Val-Zod Earth 2. Well, let's look that fucker up. Hang on. Val-Zod Earth 2. I have not. Oh, by the way, super chat. Thank you, Stoner. No, actually, thank you, Stefan. Did you at least watch Superman and Lois? I have not watched it yet, but I am very much looking forward to it. Six is probably one of the biggest Superman fans I know because I've seen his background and his streams sometimes filled with Superman memorabilia. He says it's good. I'm looking forward to it. By the way, did you ever see 616? Did you ever see that documentary about the guy who played Superman on Hollywood Boulevard? And he was like a costume guy who went out and took pictures with people as Superman. Depressing as fuck. My brother was a camera guy on the Wonder Woman pilot that never aired, that had Adrienne Palinecki from Friday Night Lights. Now she's in the Orville. And he would come up to my brother, the guy who played Superman. And he would be like, hey, I love Superman. Can you maybe get me a job, or can you get me in with the director and stuff? And my brother's just like, dude, I'm a camera guy. I can't really do all that stuff. But it's very depressing, Six. And he's dead now. I think he got beaten up, and his body was found in a dumpster. I mean, well after the movie. It's not in the movie. I'm not spoiling anything. Okay, so there actually is a black Superman. Okay. Right, she was who was she in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Black Canary? No, that's DC. She was what was her fucking name? Oh, I loved her in Friday Night Lights. She's my girlfriend. And in the Orville. What was her fucking name? She's dead. Bobby somebody. She's Hawkeye's wife. Who the fuck is she? It's not Canary. It's not Black Canary. Because that's DC. Come on now. Help me out. God damn it. I'll get to your chat in a second, Stoner Joe. Give me 1 second, pal. I appreciate it, buddy. Anyway, we'll look at this guy. So this is Val-Zod. And this is who... Oh, Linda Cardellini. Oh, my God. I love Linda Cardellini. God damn. So Michael Jordan wants to play this guy. He doesn't want to play... Mockingbird. There you go, Rube. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it's this guy or if it's Clark Kent. Who gives a shit? They have the right actor to play the right role. He's flying. He's shooting laser beams out of his eyes and smoke out of his fucking mouth. Not smoke, but freeze breath. Gives a fuck what color his skin is. Adrienne Palicki, whatever the fuck her name is. Yes, she's beautiful. She is not your wife. Linda Cardellini is my wife, motherfucker. She's in that Christmas thing with Will Ferrell. That movie's so great. The second one, Daddy's Home. She's great in that. Okay, I've never met Jeremy Renner, no. Okay, so let me get the super chat, and then I want to talk to you guys about Deathloop. But this, I mean, hey, great. Just get somebody in there that knows. I mean, Jeff Johns is in there. He's a comic book writer. Maybe he doesn't have any power. I don't fucking know. But goddamn, DC, get your shit together. Come on now. Come on, he's cool, man. That's a cool character. Stoner Joe dropped super chat again. He says, what a relief. Boogie, who I haven't heard from Boogie in a while, told me to do everything I could to stop it from happening again. Part of my delusion is Colbert talks to me. He might be watching. Stoner Joe, you're a troll of the highest order, but your money spins, and I don't care even if it didn't. I appreciate you being here, sir. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I never do. I never do. But let me ask you a question about Boogie, because I don't know why he was on my mind today. I know I was in Vegas, And I'm only going to tell this story very briefly because a lot of other people have shared this. So I kept it personal for a long time because I thought that, you know, I was like, oh, well, that's private. But apparently he said this to everybody. So, but he was sending me private text. I don't know him that well, if at all, really. We just chat every now and then back and forth on the Twitter. And I was really worried about him because he was talking about that he was suicidal. And, I was just like, holy shit, man. You know, I can't do anything about that, but I think you need to get some medicine. You need to get some therapy. You know, this is not okay. And I've heard his stories about his childhood, which were incredibly traumatic. Anyway, point being though, is I was thinking about him today because I haven't seen him streaming in a while. Maybe I just haven't been looking in the right places. I haven't seen him on Twitter. I hope he's okay is my point. But Stoner Joe, I hope you're okay as well, sir. If you want to call in, the phone lines are always open for you, pal. And we'll go from there. Okay. Boogie's always up to no good. That big scamp, says Grape King. Yeah. Jaffe, you know, there's a black Batman character. His name is Batwing. No, I didn't know that. I mean, there's a new black Batman character in the future DC that they're telling right now. And the new Batwoman is a black woman. I know that. Wonder Woman 85, or was it 84? Oh, yeah, that was terrible, Eric. I agree 100%. It was very forgettable. I'm stunned they made that movie. Let's move on. Okay, so I was, you know, I'm a fan of Harvey Smith. Harvey Smith works at Arcane. He was one of the key guys, if not the key guy, behind Deus Ex, which is one of my favorite games I've played. Deathloop, he's not directing Deathloop, but it's his company or a company he works at, which is owned by Bethesda, which is now owned by Microsoft. Every time I had seen Deathloop in the past, I had been like, whatever. It just looks like it's nice style in substance, but or not a lot of style over substance. And I'm like, whatever. It didn't interest me. Today they dropped a trailer. It's only 3 minutes long. I want to show it to you because I want to talk briefly about a couple of things in it. But this is the first time I've seen it. And this is now very interesting to me. Like, this is at the top, not at the top, but people say, Jaffe, what are you looking forward to in 2021? I never would have said Deathloop. I look at this now, and I'm like, okay, this is really interesting. Let's watch the trailer together. It's only 3 minutes, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Okay, thank you very much, and we are off.
Hello, I'm Gabba, game director at Arcane Lyon, and I'm here to tell you all about Deathloop. I only have a few seconds to sum it up, so Deathloop is a murder puzzle where you play an assassin trapped in a time loop. But you know what? I think I can explain it better than that. In Deathloop, you wake up on the shores of Black Reef, trapped in an endless time loop that makes the island and its inhabitants repeat the same day over and over. And to escape, you'll have to kill 8 targets before the day resets. These targets, however, they aren't big fans of this plan, so they've ordered everyone on the island to shoot you on sight. So this may be a game about time, but you're not on a timer. You can figure things out at your own pace, in any order you want, as you piece together the perfect loop to freedom. So you're starting over with each loop, but you're not starting with nothing. You'll have a chance to keep your weapons and abilities between loops. You also unlock new supernatural abilities and gain intel on your target. Now let's talk about these 8 targets. They call themselves the Visionaries, and they're a group of scientists, artists, and party animals. But they're also cold-blooded murderers looking to live forever no matter the cost. So, with 8 Visionaries spread across 4 districts of Black Reef, broken up into 4 time periods, there is a lot to accomplish in a single day. The more you learn about your targets, easier it will be to get them exactly where you want. 2 down, 6 to go. You're you're not the only one doing the hunting. Meet Juliana. She's unpredictable, she's clever, she's the most powerful visionary. And she'll kill you more than once. And there's much more to cover, like all the supernatural abilities to unlock. Oh, and there's also artifacts that modify your weapons in crazy ways. And the truth about Black Reef is that and the time loop causes amnesia. And there are tons of parties to crash. In short, Deathloop is a murder puzzle where you play an assassin trapped in a time loop. But don't worry, time is always on your side.
So I like roguelites, right? I don't like roguelikes, but I really like lights. So this is a roguelite game, it sounds like, which is great. And it's a roguelite game where you are piecing together the same content that happens each time you retry, like Groundhog Day. So it's like Groundhog Day meets roguelite. I think that sounds awesome. So I am totally there for it. I am totally excited for it. Finally, they explained it in a way that I think makes a lot of sense. A roguelike and a roguelite. A roguelite is when you die, you are able to carry progress or some aspects with you, and then use that progress to chore up or to spend the resources, gold or DNA or whatever the game is, to up your character. So when you go back into the same experience, you're stronger, you're faster, or what have you. Rogue likes, you die and you start again from nothing. And it's horrid. I fucking hate that. Returnal, I don't know. I haven't watched anything on Returnal that makes me think this is it, but you're not the first person to say that it's similar. Now, the other thing that's interesting to me about this, so I'm in, okay? I don't know what this guy means. I hope this is less stealth. Maybe you can play it however you want to play it. But Victor says, Jaffe, you are way too ancient. Your opinion. First off, okay, Jaffe, you are way too ancient. Your opinions don't jive with today's gamers. Okay, number one, Victor. You know, I might be ancient, but at least I understand how to use punctuation. You literally don't punctuate anything. There's no comma. There's no period. There's no capitalization except my name, and it's all capitalized. Like, I don't understand what the fuck you're saying. That's A. B, what are you talking about? You're telling me that this game, you don't think people are going to enjoy this game? Be more specific, child. I would appreciate it, sir. Returnal looks cool. It should be $40 tops, says Edward. I mean, maybe. I don't know what it is yet in terms of, I don't know how much content is there, but it's different. It's fresh. Isn't it that people where's something different? Oh, no, I'd rather give Activision $70 for another, Call of Duty. Okay, I guess. Okay, to be honest, there's very few games I'll buy day one, says Gravy. It's got to be the first-party PlayStation game or something like Gotham Knights or Rocksteady Suicide Squad. Yeah, I'm certainly going to wait for fucking the Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad reviews to come in on that, because I haven't been sold on that yet. Modern games, says Jimmy Gilchrist, are too linear and rely on story and cutscenes. We need more games where the players given agency and consequence. I agree with you, sir, and I get the sense that's kind of what we're looking at, right? I mean, this seems much more of a gamey game kind of thing. Hello, Hunter Affleck. It's good to see you, sir. The Quiet Knight says, "Oh, Jaffe, dun dun dun." What? Icarus, I wasn't all that plugged into Eternal until I saw the recent state of play, and suddenly I'm like, wait, this is a horror game? And there's like a house in the middle of this alien planet that's the house she grew up in. What the fuck am I looking at? Then I got into it. Okay, look, I want to say one more thing about Deathloop, though. And it kind of ties into this. So this story comes out today. Well, here's the main. There's a couple of things. It is. I saw some of you guys in the chat talk about it. Jaffe Gamer looks good. I expected you to dump on it. What? The game looks good? Good night, Stefan. Good to see you, pal. Always good to have you here, buddy. So people in the chat talking about representation. all this stuff. We got ourselves a black hero, finally. I mean, it's not the only black hero, but they're few and far between. And what's interesting about this, and again, I don't know, maybe I'm just showing myself to be, ignorant, whatever. All I know is, and I know the term is dumb, person of color. I don't know if Dinga Bakaba is a black guy or if he is a Middle Eastern guy. He's got light, dark skin. He is what a lot of people would call a person of color. That's all I fucking know. I don't know what his ethnicity is. Doesn't matter. What matters, though, is that, yeah, what we see is when we get, different people in games and running teams, we see more diversity in the games themselves. I think that's pretty fucking great that we're going to see what could be a really big deal game starring a black dude. Returnal was exactly like this. The day keeps repeating on the planet she's at. Oh, okay. Stoner Joe drops some cash. He says, okay, now I'm high. Stoner Joe, when are you going to call in? When are you going to call in? It's a Congolese name. So he's from the Congo? Okay. Point is, though, great. Look, this is great. Sony just did this thing today. They announced they have a bunch of partnerships to support black communities. This is exactly, and you guys had Tony Barnes on, one of the been in the industry for 30 years making classics that you know and love, black dude. I think because I have seen it firsthand, such a lack of black folks, at least in America, coming through product development, that this kind of stuff is great. I know a lot of people get pissed about it for some reason. But this is great that Sony's doing this. They're doing like 3 different initiatives all over the country. Black Girls Code, the Hidden Genius Project, Black in Gaming. I think there's one other one's actually. And it's all about helping kids of color who might not have access to computers or tech or things like that to actually learn how to program games and get into games. I think it's great. First Superman, now this, says Eddie. Really? You, not enough white people out there for you, sir? As a black programmer who dreams to work at Santa Monica, this makes me very happy, says Ghost. Yeah. I mean, again, Sony's super fucking diverse anyway. Sony Santa Monica especially so. But they consciously say, look, we want to have a diverse workforce here. But I agree. I think it's absolutely wonderful that we're starting to consciously say we have to make changes, not just for the black community, but LGBT community and Muslim community, and let's just bring in all kinds of different people. Where's Asian and Hispanic representation? Asian folks are pretty well represented on teams. Hispanic, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. It's a great point. Okay, Deathloop has no random element, says Learn to Swim Fly. It's a game like Dishonored. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I all I can tell you is that's the first trailer I've seen, and it actually makes me go, okay, I'm interested for the first time in this game. Yeah, Deathloop and Ghostwire are 1-year Sony exclusives. I did see that. Now, you guys tell me, I've not noticed this before. I've noticed it before where it says console exclusive, and then they've been kind of cagey about it. This is the first time I've actually seen, and maybe this has been there, I just haven't noticed it. If you look, it says also available on PC, so it calls itself a console exclusive, but then it says not available on other consoles until at least May 21st, 2022. Interesting. Do they always do that, or is that pretty much a new thing? There's an older woman protagonist in Returnal. Really? What does she look like? Let's see. Well, thank you, Gravy Biscuits. I appreciate that, pal. Celine. Okay, let's see what Celine looks like. She's an old lady. Okay, yeah, and she's not like, 22. All right, well, good. The rarest type of protagonist, let's see. A woman, late 30s, late 40s. Good. Yeah, we need more variety in our games. There's more people game that are older. Deathloop is no killer app. It's not going to sell PS5, says No Dog. It may not be. I'm not suggesting that it's the greatest game in the world. I'm just suggesting that after seeing the trailer, it has my attention. Is it going to be great? I don't fucking know, but it's cool. Okay, I have to pitch you guys. What is this Returnal? Oh, this is the brouhaha about welcome to late night on Gabbin+GAMES. This song goes out to Stoner Joe, who's high as a goddamn kite right now. Stoner Joe, I wonder, are you going to call us ever? Call in and tell us all about your life and what makes you famous, man. What makes you famous, baby? What is it you did in your life that made people know who you are and care about you and care about your life and care about what you do in your day? This is what I want to know. Because I think everybody listening right now, they would also like to, here's the deal. I saw a documentary the other night called Fake Famous on HBO Max, and it literally is all about, the number one thing kids want to be today is famous influencers. And it's really incredible. So Stoner Joe, if you're actually a famous person, I think you should call in, disguise your voice, and talk to us about what it's like to be famous. Oh, Lord. I don't know how people do that. Listen, Returnal $70. I don't know. Shut up, Scott. I don't know if it's worth $70. I don't know. You know who thinks it's worth $70? You know who thinks it's worth 70 goddamn dollars? This guy right here. I don't think it's worth $70. I think that's rubbish. That's shit. That's why you're not in charge anymore, mate. Now roll me back to Sony. I got a meeting that I got to do with the marketing people. All right? Grumble, grumble, grumble. What'd you say? Nothing. Meanwhile, back at the Sony place. That's right. I'm back. I'm back where I belong. Everyone loves me here. I don't think they do, old man. How about I stick my foot up your bum? Only on weekends. Dun 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 dun. Bleh. Okay. $70. $70. Come on, man. Really? Come on. $70. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, look, I'm going to play it. But I do think, and oh my God, listen, you guys. So, look, you guys know I played Destruction All-Stars. Destruction All-Stars has come out a couple days ago and said we're dropping the $20 after our deal with PS Plus runs out. And, here's our roadmap for the future, this, that, and the other. I don't know, man. I don't know what it's going to take for... I really don't. I don't know what it's going to take for Sony to break through in that space. I hope maybe what they're doing with Guerrilla, with the guy from Rainbow Six Siege, it seems like they just can't. And again, I don't dislike... It's almost weird. It's like there are these great games out there. Like I think Destruction All-Stars is a fun game. But it's like there's got to be a way to make those multiplayer games not so goddamn feast or famine. Because it's just like if you don't hit it big, you're fucked. It's over. You'll spend millions of dollars. It's almost like they need to be doing game jams. They need to be doing They need to be doing multiplayer game jams and releasing them on Sony. And they need to take like 6 months to do. And eventually one of them is going to stick. And then they start building off that. And they need to organically create their hits that way when it comes to multiplayer online games. Because you probably could have done Destruction All-Stars for next to no money. I mean, for $850,000. And you could have had it done with blocks and cubes and whatever. But if it was fun, people would have been playing it still. And then they could have said, let's throw some more money at it, man. But I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it, man. I don't know how they're going to do it. Listen to me. Stoner Joe drops by again. He says, I'm guessing a series of videos I did with my pals, but you would know because they were the Stoner Joe Productions. They might be other reasons. Okay, I'm going to go to Stoner Joe Productions right now. I don't know what the fuck this is, but we're going to go to Stoner Joe Productions. Hang on. Hey! Stoner, God damn it, Joe Productions. Do you have a YouTube channel? Is that what it is? Okay, here we go. This is 2000. Oh, Jesus. The Rant Crew? And I don't know what the fuck this is. I'll do some research later. I'll find it out. I think my dog needs to go out in the bathroom. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want to talk about Sega. I want to talk, maybe I'll save Sega till tomorrow. All right, here's what we're going to do. By the way, hey, I was gonna thank somebody for upgrading their membership to Cult of Calypso, but it just said the message was retracted. So thanks, maybe. I don't know what happened, and now I don't even know who you are, because your name is off the thing. But if you did upgrade, thank you. If you upgraded and changed your mind, not a problem. You're always welcome. And if you did upgrade and it didn't work, try again. Yeah, they took it back. I don't know. I've never seen that happen before. All right, here's the deal. What is it now? Okay, so we've been streaming for a bit. I'm going to take the dog out. Depending on my energy level, I may come back and do a game stream. It might be Blue Fire. It might be Last of Us 2. It might be something weird in indie. I don't fucking know. But I might come back and stream. I'll just stay on the Discord or the Twitter if you want to hang out a little bit more tonight. But we will talk about the Sega thing tomorrow. All the super chats, all the memberships, all the great conversations tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I was trying to send message. It was me. It didn't take it back. Okay, so Adam Tobin is now a member of the Cult of Calypso. That means you can come to lunch with Jaffe this week. We're going to have that this week. That means that you get 2 chances to wash out in the Mortal Kombat 11 competition coming up this Thursday. You signed up at a good time, pal. You know what? We watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre this weekend. Did you watch that with us? That was really fucking good. But yes, welcome to the cult. Mr. Rob, I'm not saying I am coming back tonight. I might. It depends. I got to take the dog out. I got to get something to eat, hang out with the kids. If I come back and I'm like, yeah, I want to fucking do it, great. If I'm like, no, I want to get to bed so I can get up early and prep another stream, we'll just have to see. But hopefully I'll see you tonight if I'm here. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you guys. Robert, thank you so much for modding. I'm glad you're feeling better. I will see you guys very soon. I hope you guys are starting to notice, by the way, some of the membership credits getting in. It's still not all done. I don't have all the Diet Soda soldiers in. Some of the Cult of Calypso people have not sent me pictures yet. A couple of the God of War people. All the God of War people except, by the way, our own Alex. You know, Alex is the only guy who is like, hey, I'll take an ad, please. So if you guys want your ads up here and you're willing to pay for them by being a God of War member, you know, we get about 3,000 to 5,000 views on these, depending on the subject. It ain't, you know, the Super Bowl, but there you go. So just give me a heads up. All right, fellas, I'm out. It's good to see you. I will see you.